Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder with another Reddit story for you. This one from AITAH goes like this. Am I the astronaut for telling my wife there's nothing weird about me giving away my niece at her wedding and that my wife has no say at all? My niece, 26 female, has her wedding in a month, and she wants me to give her away at the wedding. Her father passed when she was really young, and I felt a moral obligation to help my sister and her daughter because my sister too helped me a lot growing up. I knew I had an obligation to my wife and children primarily, but that didn't mean I couldn't help out my sister and her daughter too. Since they lived just 10 minutes from us, I tried to be as physically active as possible in my niece's life when she was growing up. My wife and I have had a few arguments on it over the years. I've also been sending money to my sister every month for the past decade or so. It is from my individual account, not the joint account my wife and I share, so I have full liberty to spend it however I want. But my wife does know about it, and we've had arguments on this too. Now coming to the point, my niece wants me to give her away at her wedding next month, but my wife thinks it's very weird and she doesn't want me to do it. I told my wife there's nothing weird about it and her opinion on this is irrelevant. We have had a lot of discussions on this over the past week, and I am made to feel like a bad guy by my wife. Am I the bad guy? Am I the asshole if I were to give my niece away at her wedding? Candy Thunder has left us some notes. Let's hear the thoughts of Candy Thunder. How is this weird? I can't understand how an uncle stepping in to help his niece is weird. It sounds like he has been a father figure to her since her dad passed. Walking a niece down the aisle now doesn't take away from walking a daughter down the aisle later in life. If this was my dad, I would feel honored that he had impacted someone else's life in the same way he has impacted mine. Yeah, it can be nothing else but jealousy, right? It can be nothing else than it's not even taking away anything that she feels like would be hers. But there's an opportunity cost involved because it might have been, if he wasn't sending money to them every month, he might have bought more stuff for her from his individual fund. If he didn't spend so much time over there, maybe she would have more attention. So maybe it's just purely about all the things that she has not had. Not that she's in a deficit, but all the things that she could have had, potentially, if he had not devoted so much time, energy, and money to them. That's weird. Translation, I'm jealous as F. Beyond. I mean, that's it. But why would you make someone feel bad about doing something good? Gotta be jealousy, right? Just possessiveness? She could have had an extra daughter and sister. Google Queen Cat, damn good point. She could have viewed this as a positive from the get-go and included them in their family and then not had to have been away from him all this time. And then not had to see the fruits of the monthly tithing he sends to them from afar or in her imagination. She could have been a part of this good thing instead of opposing this good thing and turning it into a bad thing in her mind. The rest of the world views it as a good thing though, Bizzo. It's a good thing to the rest of the world. You're the only person who doesn't like it, and that only makes sense if you're jealous of his time, energy, money that has been directed somewhere else, attention. Let's just sum it all up as he has given someone else attention. And now she's dropping the it's weird thing to try to make you feel creepy as a man who has been a father figure to a girl. The creepy thing is supposed to be like an all bets are off. Like you're creepy, right? As a dude, you have no choice if you hear like your creepy thing to be like retreat. Comment from OP just pasted in by Candy Thunder. She's given many reasons. Like, for example, font size changing as I'm reading. Oh, wait. Wife has given many reasons. Like, for example, one reason being that we have a daughter who isn't married yet, and she feels like I am closer to my niece than my daughter, which isn't true at all. And then she says, symbolically, me going to my niece's wedding as her father figure while my sister being there as her mother, she thinks it's weird. She's using that. That's bullshit. Like she's reaching now. She's trying to come up with anything she can. But what does she lose? If you do this, if you walk your niece down the aisle, what does your wife's life lose? Not a damn thing. Except for not being able to control you that one time. Nobody's going to view this as weird. I think it almost feels like she wants them to feel the pain of her control or of not having you. I don't know. Maybe she feels like they have more claim to you than she does, and she doesn't like that. Like it's a power struggle thing. I don't know. It's not. Your opposition is creepy, OP's wife. That's the only thing creepy here. Your opposition to this. Like, why would you have such a problem with it? It's weird that you have a problem with it. It's weird that you think it's weird. So, am I the asking for telling my wife there's nothing weird about me giving away my niece at her wedding and that my wife has no say at all? Hell no. And good on you, OP, for saying that your opinion on this matter is irrelevant. Hold on, because if you said those words, your opinion on this matter is irrelevant. I can imagine the steam coming out of your wife's ears, like eyes rolled back in the back of her head probably spun a 360 right on her neck, and she spun around and looked exactly like this. Like, you said her opinion was irrelevant. And you would think that would be enough to be like, okay, don't push anymore because I can make you matter less. But no, she continues to press. Wow. So what's gonna happen here, OP? I mean, she's gonna keep pushing to the now what you have to think about, because being a human sucks, is that if your wife attends this wedding and you walk her down the aisle, what kind of stink is she gonna cause? Now you have to think about that kind of shit. You have to think about your wife really can't be at the wedding because when you walk your niece down the aisle, she's going to stand up and say some shit. There's a risk with your wife attending the wedding now. She can't go.